There are fears that seem as if they will kill us, until they force us to struggle on the boundary between life and death. In that ultimate panic, a person touches for the first time a power they have never known before. This is the story of a man, a cold sea, and a lesson that only those who dare to face the abyss can comprehend. During the prosperous era of the Kingdom of Albion, when gray stone castles rose proudly on misty hills and banners fluttered atop watchtowers, King Leopold decided to embark on an important sea voyage to inspect the newly built fleet. The morning light spread golden over the calm silver sea, and seagulls circled like auspicious omens foretelling a smooth journey. The entourage and nobles accompanying him were all excited, laughter echoing across the deck of the kingdom's largest ship, the Northern Goddess. Only one person did not share this joy: Baron Edric of Marlow. Born deep inland, Edric had never set foot on a ship. The sea, to him, was mysterious and terrifying. As the horizon swallowed the last strips of land and the vast waters began to ripple, Edric felt his fear rising in waves, crashing against his heart. His face turned pale, his hands trembled, cold sweat beading on his forehead. The fear quickly turned into panic. He rushed to the ship's side, gripping the wooden railing as if his life depended on it. "We're all going to die. Death is waiting for us beneath that abyss," Edric screamed, his voice echoing across the still sea, startling the sailors. The other nobles tried to reassure him, but in vain. No words could penetrate the mind of a man gripped tightly by terror. The first night passed with endless moaning and weeping. On the second night, he was completely exhausted, yet still refused to eat or drink. No one could rest, not even the king, who had been full of excitement for the voyage, now sat brooding under the oil lamp's light, frowning. Should I turn back? Joy has turned into torment because of the fear of one single man. At that moment, a calm voice rose behind him. It was the elderly cleric Aldrich, a famous reclusive scholar who had joined the voyage to observe nature and make his records. Bowing slightly, he said, "Your Majesty, if you allow me to act in my own way, without questions or interference, I can relieve this suffering." In despair mixed with a faint glimmer of hope, Leopold nodded. "Do what you think is right. If you succeed, your reward will be worthy." Aldrich stepped onto the deck, his eyes shining under the morning sun. Turning to the sailors, he spoke firmly yet calmly. "Throw him into the sea." A wave of astonishment swept through. The sailors stared, thinking he was joking. But Aldrich reaffirmed, "It is the king's command. You have my word. Trust me." Reluctantly and fearfully, the sailors grabbed the struggling, frantically screaming Edric and dropped him into the ice-cold water. The sea closed as if swallowing him whole. A suffocating silence followed. Then suddenly, Edric resurfaced, coughing violently, flailing his arms in a desperate effort, his screams even more terrifying than before. He sank again. His bulging eyes revealed genuine horror, entirely different from the vague fear he had felt earlier. He thrashed between life and death. In that moment, panic turned into primal survival instinct. After several horrifying moments under the freezing water, Cleric Aldrich calmly signaled, "Pull him up." The sailors quickly hauled the rope, dragging Edric, drenched and shivering, back onto the deck. His breathing was heavy, his entire body trembling as if he had just returned from death's grasp. His eyes were wide open, no longer wild but filled with awakening clarity. The man who had once wept before the gentle waves now lay still, clutching the wooden deck tightly, muttering, "Thank God, solid wood, my land." From that moment on, Edric completely changed. He sat up and drank a cup of hot water that no one had been able to persuade him to touch before. That night, he slept soundly like a child, under the gentle sound of waves lapping against the hull. In the morning, Edric even smiled for the first time since leaving port. The rest of the voyage became as calm as the sea itself. Laughter echoed under the golden sky, the ship slicing through the waves, advancing like a triumphant hymn. When the fleet returned to port, King Leopold immediately summoned Aldrich to the study. He gazed intently at the kind old cleric. "Tell me, how did you know that by throwing him into the sea, he would find peace?" Aldrich gently smiled, his eyes reflecting a distant sadness. "Your Majesty, because I too was once thrown into the abyss of my own soul." He silently looked out the window, where the sea sparkled under the sunset. "Many years ago, I loved a young woman, but the fear of losing her made me cling to her, interrogate, suspect, and rage until I suffocated her. In the end, she left me." Aldrich's voice sank, carrying the old sorrow. "That emptiness swallowed me like an abyss. It was in that loneliness that I came to understand the true value of love, just as Edric only realized the safety of the ship after tasting the real danger of the deep sea." The king remained silent for a long time, then spoke thoughtfully. "There are fears that can only be conquered when one dares to face them." Aldrich slowly nodded. "Yes, Your Majesty. When we avoid it, fear becomes a phantom haunting the mind. But when we dare to plunge into it, we realize it is not as great as we imagined. Sometimes it is the abyss that teaches man to cherish the ground beneath his feet. Fear, like a dense fog, often clouds human reason. In the imagination, it swells into invisible monsters that devour all inner peace. The more we avoid it, the more silently fear takes control, sowing panic, suspicion, and emotional turmoil. Yet strangely, when we dare to step directly into that fog, the light of truth reveals its true form, often much smaller than the shadow we had painted in our minds. The moment of facing fear is the first step toward growth. Fear may knock us down at first, but it also forges resilience, gratitude for simple things, and a strength we once thought we did not possess. Just as Baron Edric only recognized the steadiness of the deck after tasting despair in the heart of the sea, humans truly understand the value of peace only after experiencing life's upheavals. Sometimes, life does not drown us with trials, but simply throws us into deep water to teach us how to swim. It is in the struggle for survival that we discover the hidden strength within ourselves that had long lain dormant. And through that, we learn an important lesson. Inner steadiness does not come from the outside world, but from the courage to look straight into the abyss within.